Well, if it's Monday night, it must be Al Branca. That's me. And welcome, everyone. Thanks a lot for joining us for our weekly agent webinar. Man, you can tell summer is over. A lot of people on the call, still more trying to get on as we move forward, but we appreciate you taking a chunk of your Monday night and joining us for tonight's presentation. Thanks a lot. Hope you get a lot out of it. As always, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. I'm going to try to keep it real brief tonight because my Eagles are playing right now, so nobody text me the score. I'm recording it. But tonight, you can actually ask questions when we're all said and done in about 20 minutes from now. If you dialed into a regular phone, you'd have to enter your audio pin, which is located on your dashboard. That way I can unmute you. Or if you're listening to your computer, you can just raise your hand, and I will be able to unmute you that way as well. So on tonight's agenda, I haven't done this training in months, so I thought it was about time we did this again, and we have a lot of new people too who probably aren't familiar with these products. So our agenda tonight, as we go through Get Benefit Relief, we're going to actually look at the reason that created such a need for our voluntary products, and that is healthcare reform. We're going to go through our various GBR products, look at the compensation, what you get paid for offering these money-saving services. Take a look at the back office, go through the materials, and I'll also give you a tour of your site. A lot of people don't even realize they have a Get Benefit Relief site, but we'll go through that tonight. And how and who to market, which basically is just about everyone. And then we'll put a bow on it with a little Q&A at the very end. So, healthcare reform. Some people call it the Unaffordable Care Act. It's created a lot of havoc and a lot of expense in the marketplace. Unprecedented increases to insurance premiums. I've heard of as high as 35%. And if you're an employer group, that is a big ding. And of course, what happens is they have to pass that cost on to employees. So everyone today has increasing co-pays and deductibles, just like car insurance. If you want to keep your premiums in check, you'll raise your deductible from $500 to $1,000, and of course, the next day, that's when you get into that accident. It's also created limited coverages with large gaps as employers are forced to really scale down the types and amount of coverage that employees get. And also long physician wait times as the system is absolutely overtaxed. I was at a healthcare symposium a few months back, and they had 4 keynote speakers who were all presidents of large health systems, and everyone was on the same page basically saying they missed the boat. They said that within 5 years, a third of all current practitioners that are currently in business today will be retired, and it's going to get a lot worse before it gets a whole lot better. So what we did a year and a half ago, we assessed the current healthcare market. We identified a lot of gaps and lost coverage. And we actually took a step back and rebundled our voluntary products. The demand for discount medical programs is absolutely booming. There are all kinds of companies popping up all over the place, and you have the edge right now because we've been in business for some time. Consumers, everything is being driven by consumers. It's a consumer-driven market right now. They're making decisions, and a lot of people need alternatives to traditional insurance. So we launched our 4 products to address market issues, and our products deliver timely products that anyone can afford, and we'd like to say they're so cheap you cannot afford not to have it because it saves time and money, and an employer world can even increase productivity. Our first program is Aetna's Dental Access. Now, Aetna sells this program to individuals for about $19 and for family coverage about $24 a month. It is the largest provider network in the industry. It used to be 132,000, now up to 161,000 providers, including everything from general dentistry to specialty like pedo, which is pediatrics, ortho, perio, endo, and prosthodontics. They actually provide savings of up to 50%, and unlike insurance, there is no maximum benefit. It's just $5.95 a month for the entire family, a household of 8. I've told this story a few times before, but there's a lot of new people on the line, so I'll repeat this one. A few months back, a young lady who's local to us here in New Jersey joined the program, and later that day, or the day after, had lunch with a friend who was in a very bad mood because she was just quoted $4,000 for some serious periodontal work she had to have done. She has some serious gum disease. She had insurance, but her maximum benefit for the year was $1,250 after a $150 out-of-pocket deductible. So this young lady would have been out of pocket about $2,800 to $2,900. And the agent who just joined ran to the car, grabbed her iPad, came back in, did a provider search on her Get Benefit Relief site, and that specialist was part of the network. So the woman called her dentist from the diner and told him that she was thinking about joining Aetna's Dental Access, and what would that do to that $4,000 quote? And the dentist said it would knock it in half, saving her $2,000 and about $800 less than what she would have paid if she went through her insurance. So this way she saved $800 and got to keep the rest of her benefits for the entire year in case she needed more work done. So that's one of our standalone programs. The other one is Coast to Coast Vision. Over 12,000 eye care locations in our nationwide network, including all the major chains, Four Eyes, Sears, Walmart, and several independents. Everything, ophthalmologists, optometrists, independent optical centers, and national eye care chains. It offers our members up to 60% on everything from eye exams to eyeglasses, contact lenses, specialty eyewear, and LASIK surgery. Once again, unlike insurance, there is no maximum benefit, and it's just $595 for the entire family per month. Now, if one family member saves just $100 on a pair of glasses, you're ahead of the game because you're only spending about $70 for the year, and that's just with using it once. The next program, which we don't really do much with, and I can understand why because the Plus is much better, is the Select program. It bundles Aetna's Dental Access with Coast to Coast Vision, adds hearing aids with discounts of up to 60% off retail and discounts on vitamins and supplemental products, and that is just $9.95 a month for the entire family. But where the focus is, folks, and what we're selling almost exclusively today is GBR Plus. There's really nothing like it out there. Dental, vision, hearing aids, and vitamins, but also Health Advocate and Teladoc. Now, Health Advocate is the former brain trust of U.S. healthcare who saw the complexity of the healthcare system, so they include 3 of their products with this service. And the first is Medical Bill Saver. So most people today are in a higher deductible plan. So if anyone has an uncovered procedure that's over $400, an expert will negotiate on behalf of our member to lower that balance with the provider. They have a 95% success rate, lowering those bills by 25 to 50% with no pass-through cost to the member. They just pay their monthly fee of $12.95. So that is a great item, especially today when a lot of people are in high deductible HSA programs. The next Health Advocate service is Medical Health Advisor. Listen, if you've had insurance and you've ever had an issue with your provider, it's frustrating because you can only handle those issues between normal 9 to 5 business hours, and a lot of times they pass the buck. It's very frustrating trying to get things done. Well, with Medical Health Advisor, you have an advocate who has backdoor access to all the carriers, and they know how to resolve issues, whether it be a denied claim or a billing issue or question, or if you're looking for a second surgical opinion. Most people today have a deductible, and if they're having problems with that, they can also help there too. So Health Advocate is really a great perk that a lot of insurance people provide at no cost to their employer groups because it takes the responsibility of getting things resolved off their shoulders as well. The other part of Health Advocate is Nurse Line. This is 24/7 access to a registered nurse. Something that's a healthcare concern, but you're not sick, and it's probably not a need to have a conversation with the physician, maybe a question about drug-to-drug interaction. In addition to 24/7 access to a nurse, you'll also have online health information on more than 1,200 different topics. Now, what really makes this program special is Teladoc. Teladoc is 24/7, 365 access to a U.S. board-certified physician. It includes unlimited calling for the entire family with, the best part, no per-call fee. Most telemedicine programs that are inexpensive out there have a fee associated with it from $25 to $50 every time you make a phone call. Well, your family of up to 8 can call around the clock and speak to a U.S. board-certified physician with no per-call fee at all, other than the monthly fee for the Plus program. They can actually diagnose non-threatening, non-life-threatening issues, and even call in prescriptions when applicable, unless it's a controlled substance. Teladoc physicians have an average of about 16 years experience, and that's one of the reasons we chose them. But more importantly, their physicians are recredentialed every 3 years by the National Committee for Quality Insurance. No other telemedicine program has those kind of credentials. And in addition to that, they have a full staff of pediatric physicians, and that's great because kids always get sick over the weekend, and unless you're going to pay $150 at your local urgent care, or worse yet, $300 at your ER, or be waiting in line with 80 people on Monday morning, this is a great alternative. Telemedicine actually, the average wait time is under 15 minutes, which I think is one of the lowest in the industry as well. But telemedicine promises to be a crucial component to the current healthcare crisis, which is timely and quality access to healthcare. I just told you about that healthcare symposium, so things are going to get obviously worse before they get better because kids aren't going to med school today. Between the time they have to spend in school, the cost, and then their malpractice insurance, and then they're not making the money they used to. So a lot of kids are opting to go to engineering school these days or do something else. So GBR Plus includes dental, vision, telemedicine, health advocate, hearing aids, vitamins, and of course everyone gets the RxCut discount card, all for just $12.95 per month for the entire family. Now, I dare you and I challenge you to look for other programs out there that have any kind of price points of our programs. You won't find it. In fact, one of the most well-known companies out there is Ameriplan. And Ameriplan has a couple of services which actually don't even come close to ours. This one here is called Ameriplan Med Plus. It includes telemedicine, not even Teladoc, hospital advocacy, where you'd have to have a bill over $2,500 for someone to negotiate your balance. Their prescription card is well done, which stinks. It doesn't even come close to ours in the way of discounts and pharmacies that are covered. And the ancillary services are lab and imaging. Now, we have lab right on your RxCut site. You don't have to pay for that. But these four programs are $25 a month for the entire household, while ours is $12.95. Their other program, which is a combo pack, and I'm not even sure if it's both of these or they're each at $40, but if it were both, they have dental, which is not Aetna, vision, which is not coast to coast, the prescription plan, chiropractics, which we don't carry, hospital advocacy, telemedicine, and once again, labs and imaging for $40 a month for the entire household. Folks, ours is $12.95. Once again, I challenge you to search the internet and see if you can find anything with the type of providers we have for price points like that. So what's in it for you? Well, of course, you want to get comp, don't you? Our comp plan for the dental, we pay out over 40% of the $5.95 monthly fee. It pays $250 a month. If you're part of the network marketing platform and someone comes in under you, they get $250. You'll get a 40-cent override on all they do. The vision pays the same way, $250 a month comp with 40% override if someone under you sells it. The select program pays $350 a month with a 55-cent override, and the plus program pays $350 a month on a 55-cent override on anyone on your first line under you. Now, if you were able to sell one employer group of 50 people, that's $175 a month. It doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But it takes 5 minutes to sell. You're getting $175 a month, and the average stay in these programs is 2.5 years. So in 2.5 years, with 50 programs sold, you'll make over $5,200. Now sell 100, you're over 10 grand. The markets to prospect, well, everyone, including those with insurance. I just told you the story of that young lady who had insurance, and our discount was better than her benefit for dental. But any individual, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers and colleagues, acquaintances, anybody you meet, and if you've got a social media site, if you belong to Facebook or LinkedIn, it's easy to push your site out on there. So any type of social media outlets. I would definitely focus on businesses, especially small to medium employers. Most of those don't have great coverage. A lot of them have none at all, and it could be just a tremendous employer perk for the employee for basically $3 a week, ensuring that they have a great benefit. It could be a retention tool, as well as helping that employee be more productive too, because if someone has a sinus infection, rather than miss half a day's work sitting in the doctor's office paying a $50 out-of-pocket copay, and then going home at 3 o'clock from the doctor's office, they can actually make that phone call from their lunch hour and pick up the script on the way home. Some areas in business that are really good because they typically don't have any kind of coverage because of a lot of part-timers, or they just don't offer health care: hospitality, retail, labor-intensive businesses, nonprofits, and insurance agents are excellent to partner with, because even though you're getting a small override, they can certainly sell big volume. We partner with Aflac and Colonial Life and other TPAs and benefit administrators who really can move this product because they understand it, and when they see the price points, it's a no-brainer for them to sell. You actually should all have it too. That's the first thing we did here when we brought it on. Why? Well, you can't expect anybody else to walk the walk if you're just talking the talk. Plus, once you experience the service, it becomes easy to sell because you'll have your own third-party story on how you saved your $75 doctor office visit copay by talking to a physician on the phone who called in your script. Or if you use one of the other services like dental and vision, it'll give you that personal testimonial basically to talk about. At this point, we're going to take a look at the back office, look at the website. And the one thing I wanted to mention, I know we have some US ABG agents on the call. Now, because of the arrangement that we have, on your RxCut site, you can't link to your GBR site from here. But to get to your Get Benefit Relief site, it's simply getbenefitrelief.com/ and your RxN group number, RxN00, whatever those numbers are. Those in the network marketing platform, from your RxCut site, you can get right to your GBR site. You click on that link, and it takes you right here. And I've talked to some folks over the past 2 weeks, which is one of the reasons that prompted me to do this training tonight, that have been with us for months and didn't realize they even owned a site like this. So this is your personal site because it's got your group number in here. So if someone signs up either here or through the link here, you automatically get credit for that. And if you click on any of these services, it will actually break down the features and benefits and even show some savings examples. And product information would get you to the same place. It would have all the services listed. This is a really neat tab. Health savings, it gives examples. For instance, family has a high deductible health insurance. Last year they had 9 doctor visits, but 6 of those were handled on the phone, 2 calls with the flu, 1 with bronchitis, 1 with stomach ache, and 2 ear infections, saving 4 doctor visits, 1 urgent care, and 1 ER visit. So they equated to that to over $1,000 in savings for a program that costs $12.95 per month. And it gives other savings as far as pharmacy, dental, and vision. There's an FAQ, frequently asked questions section, that you, if you haven't yet, you should go through it. So if you get hit with a question, you'll know the answer. And the provider search is really neat. And that would be for dental, vision, and hearing. For telemedicine, it's by phone or by Skype, so you don't need to see if there's a provider in the area because they're around the country. So for instance, if I want to see what dentists in my area were participating in Aetna's dental access, I would type in my zip code, and I'll drill down to just a 10-mile radius. If I click on search, you'll see there are hundreds within 10 miles of me, and I'm in New Jersey. I'm not in New York City, and they list them all here. So that's just within a 10-mile reach. I can also do an advanced search, which can let me drill down to specialty. And when someone signs up under you, as I mentioned, individuals can sign up under you. Employer groups can't. We have the forms for that in your back office. But any individual, they should sign right up online if they don't have access to the internet. And I'm going to show you the back office right now where they can sign up. From your landing page, if you click on Library and your GBR folder, there are several subfolders. First, of course, is your marketing flyers. And these take a while to open, so I've opened these in anticipation. This is for GBR Dental. If you haven't yet, you want to download this, save it to your computer, open it back up, and put your information in, your name, your phone number, your email address, your website, and then your group number. So if someone, by chance, finds their way to the corporate GBR site, they'll have your promo code to put in, because if they make it somehow to not your GBR site but the corporate site, they can't proceed and check out unless they type in a group number, your promo code. So we protect our agents, and we're not going to sell direct to the consumers. On your site, however, they're not prompted to put a promo code in because we know that's you. In case you didn't know this, if you open all these, it goes forever. So you can actually collapse that folder. There's also logos. If you want to use this for letterhead or a banner, you can actually do that. And then there's even a PowerPoint presentation, which I believe I've saved here. Yeah, there's several pages here. Goes through a GBR overview, goes through each of the services. How can it help you? Disclaimers, get starting with GBR. You can actually customize this too. If you save it to your computer, you can actually type in your contact information right here. So if you do any kind of presentation, or you can even send this electronically to someone. Next would be the enrollment forms. Employer, okay? If you have an employer group, the only way they could sign up is through the forms, because this would be a single form of payment. So if you approach the small employer who's got 10 employees, the employer says, yeah, you know what, this is great for $3 a week, I'll buy for the employees. Well, they would fill out one enrollment form, and the employees would fill out a separate enrollment form. Employer paid means that the employer is actually paying for it out of pocket, or they're going to do voluntary payroll deduction, where it's taken out of the employee's pocket before they get paid. So the two ways you can enroll that way is employer paid, whether it be the employer physically paying it. It's still going to be the employer paying it. It's one form of payment, but it also can be through payroll deduction. Then you have the individual forms, which I think I've got one of those open as well. There we go. And these can actually be written, or it can be typed as well. Fill out the information here. There's really no need for additional cards. Each family gets 2 heavy plastic cards. If they want it personalized, they can order additional cards if they want their name on it, but it's $1 for additional card per card. They would put their information in, whether they're going to pay for the year or pay by a monthly debit from their credit card. They can electronically sign here if they so choose, or if it's printed out, they can actually sign the paper. They have to total up everything, which would be the annual amount. And then there's a $4.95 registration fee. That is for the physical fulfillment package that they will get in the mail, and that just covers the cost. And I think that covers everything for the GBR site. Oh, as well, there are 2 GBR trainings, 1 and 2, that really go into depth on the products and the market, how to market it in your agent back office. So there's a couple easy ways to submit if you're doing the paper submission, paper forms. One is by fax to 609-257-0909. I believe they're on the bottom of the enrollment forms as well. The other way, you can scan and email it to gbrforms@ffaemail.com. And there are 2 fulfillment options. One is by mail, which is a benefit book and 2 very heavy plastic cards, which actually the entire family can use. And that comes with a $4.95 one-time processing fee. The other way is electronically, where they would get an email containing the cards and brochure as attachments. No processing fee, and I highly recommend against that, because it's a flimsy piece of paper when they print it, and people will most likely not put it in their wallet or lose it, or it'll get crumpled up, or the dog will eat it. For $5, it's definitely worth having these physical cards. This is a month-to-month program, but the average stay in these programs is well over 2 years, because at that cost, it pretty much flies under the radar. So whatever you sell, take that monthly amount for your commission and multiply that by 30 months. That's probably the full commission that you'll receive. What's created the need for GBR? It's healthcare reform, or Obamacare. Created double-digit rate increases. Most insured folks now have higher deductibles and copays, and employers are being forced to eliminate ancillary products like dental and vision, or make the employee pay full tilt. And believe me, from everyone I've talked to in the insurance world, these discount programs are much better than insurance, because they're much cheaper monthly and there's no maximum benefits. And the other thing too is that we're in a world where there's a lot more insured people, a lot more physicians retiring than coming into practice, so wait times are ever increasing. at physician offices. So GBR does help ease the pain. It saves time and money. It is an excellent wow benefit to employees from the employer, and it certainly helps fill the gaps. It's premiums that anyone can afford. For pennies a day, your entire family has a concierge service, access 24/7, 365 to U.S. board-certified physicians, and it pays commissions as long as the account stays active. So that actually concludes GBR training, and let's see if we've got any questions out there. Hopefully we don't, because I want to watch that football game. Looks like Phil Kessel has a question. Phil, I just unmuted you. Can you hear me? You there, Phil? How do I get the GBR website again? It would be getbenefitrelief.com / and then your RxN group number. So getbenefitrelief.com / RxN00 and whatever your last 3 numbers are. That is your personal GBR site. Jason Levin, you have a question, Jason? Jason, you should be unmuted.
Oh, where can we order special cards for the doctor's offices, customized for the doctor's new one?
Whenever you'd like to. Actually, how you do that is pretty easy. If you go to your agent back office, let's see if I can find it. Now, if you have a logo, send us the logo, and we'll turn a proof around. But if you just want to type the physician's practice name in, you would type in the program name here. And you would click update, and bingo, compliments of Dr. Oz. Let me take that out because I want to ruin, I forget whose website this is. I don't want that to appear on the sites. So then you would just place the card order right here. And you can order 1,000, 2,500, or 5,000. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
You got it, buddy. All right, Peter Davis, you're on. You there, Peter?
Hello, Mike.
Hello. No, I hear you. Peter? I just had you, Peter. Can you hear me? Hello? Peter, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
No.
You can't hear me? Do you have a question? Oh, yes. There's several on the question pane here. Hold on a second. My speaker's really muffled. Sorry, Mike. How do I get the GBR website again? Well, I told you that. What the minimum amount of employees needed to enroll a company? There is no minimum. 2, I would think, would be the minimum. Because if it's just 1, you do the individual. You land a more great weather thing. Saw that you and Jerry were driving at Dave & Buster's. Heard that crashed a couple of times. Want to know who won? No. No Mike Peter Davis. No Mike Peter Davis. And I'm going to try Phil Kessel one more time. Hey, Phil, you there? Phil? All right, let me see. Check one more time. I think we're good. Folks, listen, next week, it's another open mic night backed by popular demand with yours truly, CEO and founder Jerry Furrow, and Eric, the architect Shugarts, our CIO, will address any and all your questions. So come to the table with a couple, and also we'll be making an announcement about a few enhancements to your RxCut site. Folks, this is the time right now, heading into fall, to focus on your business. As we head into the fall season, this time of year, we have the highest conversion rates and largest volume as we build the business heading into winter. So let's get it going. Until then, remember, well done is better than well said. And also remember, Hey, folks, appreciate your time. Have a great night and awesome week, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.